We are live. I always feel like I'm on a radio show when I open this up because on my screen it says, "You are live." We are live. Welcome to the 1010 portal, guys. This is a very, very powerful 1010 portal. And I have to say, for a lot of you that I connect with, you kind of over the other side of the world. I'm here in Africa, so I can be deemed as the friend of your future. And I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling it, man. It has been one hell of a day. And I have to say, it has not been feeling like your normal portal day, because this portal, I feel, Gospel of Marie, is deeply, deeply significant in in basically where we're at, at this point of ascension throughout this year, right? Because we said that obviously 2024 was going to be intensely a year of transformation, right? And God, was that true? So this 1010 portal, I mean, usually with the portals, we feel those bliss codes and you feel the lightness and everything like that. And it's amazing and awesome, right? Most of the time. And you can feel that expansion in the energy where you're just like, right, okay, this is good. This is good, Good morning, Becky. Good morning. Let me just pause to say hi to all the peeps, man. Hello. Hi, guys. It's so good to have you here. And I'm so glad that some of you actually got up super early this morning as well, which you always do, because it's the end of my day here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And hello, Michelle, and thank you for coming. And for those that are catching this on the rebound, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Energy is timeless. So it doesn't matter when you tap into this circle. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? Hi. Oh God, the dream team is just piling in now. But yeah, if you don't, if you tap into this frequency and this ceremony per se, then you're going to get the golden codes no matter what. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, every day is a portal, right? So today, the 1010 portal, I always keep it real and legit, and I would love to come on here and say, darlings, I've been flying in the ethers of creation and I spoke to all my beings today and it's been lovely and amazing. No, today I've actually wanted to die. Sorry, guys, I'll speak it out loud. Got my moon cycle for the second time in 1 week and had a near punch up with my daughter because she was rude to me. And I just feel like impending doom is actually wanting to splurge out of my soul right now. 1010 portal. Ain't no holes barred, and I'm keeping it real because that's exactly what today has felt like. And look, that's my day to day that's happened today. Like crazy things are happening. This portal, right? I do not fearmonger. I do not fearmonger because this is not what we're here to do. Because basically, we're always of the light, right? But this particular portal, let me rewind to the beginning of the week. We were on a timeline when we were like hurtling towards one particular direction. Okay. We were really tipping the scales and we did get intercepted by Team Dog, which is why a lot of us, I don't know, it might not be everybody, but I know I felt it because my gifts and abilities I'm basically a bath plug. Do you know what I mean? I won't go into it, but I'm the type of empath that is a bath plug and I clear it. I absorb the energy into my being, into my body. Don't know why I signed up for that, but that's how it rolls. And it's like, and I'm always feeling the intensity of it all. And Monday came in and I literally had a shadow replay. It was really intense and it was bringing up disillusionment, wanting to give up. Why am I doing this? Do you know what I mean? I'm so tired. I can't go on anymore. All of these things, fear, anxiety, all of the things. And it came and went pretty quick, but I've definitely been like that all week. Now I've been looking, obviously following other teachers and speaking to other light workers. And they said definitely for those that follow that kind of stuff, that we have been steered in a different direction. There was an interception. So when we get an interception from the opposite forces, let's call them, what happens is we start to feel it in our emotions where isn't that convenient that we want to give up? Do you know what I mean? So don't believe the hype because this is where we're at right now. How much of the stuff that you're feeling right now is really yours? How much of it is actually just what you're feeling out there? And that's the discernment that we need right now. Do you know what I mean? To really tap into our power and to actually not give it away so willingly, kind of going, oh, well, it must be me. Because even though I was in the depths of that darkness, let me tell you, and I mean, I try and do videos when I'm in the thick of it because I think it's more helpful to actually be talking in the thick of it. And I couldn't. And it was real, but I knew, but like the energy was real. But to myself, I was like, this is not real, though. That's the difference. I am not believing this hype, and I haven't got this far to go out like this. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to pause to see some of the crazy purge, crazy purge. Purging too. I didn't know whether I was going to make the call. Hello. Sorry, more people jumping on the call. So like, I didn't think I was going to make today's call. I literally pulled myself out of bed and I sat in front of my altar and I said to Sekhmet, I was like, girl, Let's bring it. So here we are. And then all of a sudden, I'm feeling a little bit uplifted. So that's kind of what's been happening. You guys are all turning up now and you're getting me really, really hot now. I can feel the energies big time. So that's what's been happening. So welcome to this space. This space is always going to be a place of healing, a place that we can lean into each other, a place that we can share, like, in the chat, and just, but also a place ultimately where we step in and remind ourselves of our sovereignty, because the work that we do here, powerful journeys with, today we're going to be journeying with Thoth and Yeshua. Okay, a bit of a divine mix there, but this is where we kind of remember our sovereign selves, because yes, we go through all that shit, but then we come together in ceremony and we go, oh, this is who we be, right? This is who we be, and this is what we came here for. Which is why I'm always saying to you guys, like, tribe is everything. I can actually just feel by us, like, us gathering here, and as more and more of us join on YouTube, because there's so many more beautiful people coming, thanks to you guys, because we're now a collective, you do actually feel better in your energy. So really, it is about finding your tribe, finding those that really resonate with you, and just, that will reflect back to you how you really are. Okay, so no more shadow mirrors, just the good stuff mirrors, right? So I just want to remind you that obviously how this rolls, every even if we don't have a portal at the beginning of the month, I will pick a date. At this stage, towards the end of the year, we've got a portal, like we've got the 11/11 coming up, which is going to be a beautiful one, and then we obviously have the 12/12. So I will always do a live stream. The idea is to follow the work throughout YouTube for those that wish to do so, and then in the end of the month, for the work that I've been sharing, which will always have a theme, we fall into the temple, the classroom for initiates, which again doesn't cost you anything, but that's a Zoom meet, so it's a lot more powerful, because it's more interactive and everything like that. So that's kind of like the thought, like, process in bringing each month into a powerful conclusion, so we can keep rolling through these cycles and remember our sovereignty, right? So the next one we're going to be doing is how to live by the principles of the Hermetic principles. So we did the 7 principles of Ma'at. We are now going to be moving into doing the 7 principles of Thoth, which is going to be very, very powerful. Now, as always, with every single gathering I do, just make a note in your journal, whatever we work on today, if you want to make it super amped and super potent, whatever notes you take down, whatever I tell you to write down in exercises or whatever, burning ceremony, take what you work with in this space and let's, like, transmute it by fire, so you can really take it to one step further beyond the session, beyond the live, right? So now I can see that we're all kind of like, oh, we're all together, man. My heart's pumping, because when us guys get together, I feel this power so much. So as I say, this gathering is about Thoth. Can I just say, there's so many beings here that I found it really hard to give it a title for YouTube, because we literally had Keridwin, we had Rhiannon, we have Merlin, we have Sekhmet, Isis, Hathor, even the fathers have turned up, Anubis, Thoth is very much in the forefront. I've got the Sphinx here. And I was like, I don't have enough type text to put that onto YouTube. So I was sat there trying to make my orderly notes, and I was like, man, who's going to step forward here? And it was Thoth and Yeshua. So somewhere between those two divine bookends, we are sandwiched. What a beautiful, beautiful divine, a divine gathering. So basically, the reason it's going to be Thoth and Yeshua is obviously Thoth is holding us down this month for the Hermetic principles, and he's going to help us, because this 1010 portal is all about, like, I'm going to get into what the 1010 portal is about after our short meditation. We're going to get into it in a minute, but basically it's about closing. This is why this particular day is so important, and it takes us through to the weekend as well. Many astrological things going on that back up the fact that we close the door today. I'm going to slow down and I'm going to say that. We close the door. This makes me want to cry as well. We close the door today on everything in the past, and not just talking about last week or the burden, the cross, carrying the cross. That's why Yeshua turned up, because he said, no more crucifying. It's time to resurrect. So that is what this is about, because it's a sentimental journey. It's been a powerful one for each and every one of us, because I know you turn up and we chat all the time, and it's been a long road. So this 1010 portal, remember, it's 10 karma. It's all about completion. We're literally closing off behind, and in a way that makes you feel a bit vulnerable and like, oh my God, what's coming forward? But like, that's what's happening, and that's why there is such a pinnacle purge this week. It's been crazy. You know what I mean? It's such a pinnacle purge. And I've really had to kind of come down into my being to just take a moment to realize how far we've come. That's another thing as well. Warriors and warrioresses are we. You know what I mean? The priests, the priestesses, the grail knights, the grail maidens. You know what I mean? It's like, amen. Exactly. Amen. So yeah, no more crosses. Okay. Yeah, no more bearing crosses. It's time to let it go. There's got to be something else. And Hathal's been on the edge there, coming in. She's waiting because she's the one that's going to bring the joy, the laughter, all of the things, right? So I always say I'm going to do a short intro, and here I am 10 hours later banging on. So let's get comfy, because I'm going to take us into a bit of a breathwork grounding, clear our energy a little bit, and just bring us in our space with all of us. Okay. So get yourself comfy. I'm just going to pause for a little swig of vodka. Jokes, it's water. Or is it though? It is 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, and in Africa, it's 5:10. Okay. So taking a nice big deep breath. So just closing your eyes. Inhale and exhale. That's a big exhale. Breathing in from the depths. Big inhale. Even bigger than your first breath. And exhale. Then another one like that. Power of 3. Inhale. Hold that breath for a bit longer now this time. And exhale, let it go. Now allowing your breath to settle. Allowing your being to settle. Relax your shoulders. Relax your buttocks. Relax your fingers. Wiggle your toes a little, relax your calves. And even relax the hair on your head. And most importantly, allow your energy light bodies to relax just a little bit, because they're always on. They're going to get to work in a minute, but right now, relax everything. And then start to take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths in from the root chakra. Allow your breath to rise all the way to the crown. Inhale, hold, and breathe out through the nose. Exhale, release that breath. And breathing in again when you arrive at the root chakra. Inhale. And exhale. So see if you can take it into a rolling breath, what we call a circular breath. So as you breathe in, you take no time to pause, and you exhale and you roll it out. So there's a gentle intensity on the in-breath, a gentle intensity on the out-breath. This is very much Hathal breathing. So we just breathe in and just let it roll out. And with each circular breath, just letting what your body knows to do naturally is just breathe. And now, coming into your heart space, start to direct that breath into your heart. And as you breathe in, like what I call a dolphin blowhole, breathing in through the heart. And as you exhale, allow the petals of your lotus flower in that beautiful heart of yours start to unfurl. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, as you hold that heart space open, I want you to breathe that beautiful heart breath, inhale. And as you exhale, start to allow the beautiful, mystical, shiny star frequency energy from your heart. Inhale and exhale, and start to move it throughout your body. Start to breathe in and out like gentle waves. Feel them permeate through your cells, through your organs, through your muscles. Feel your body start to change ever so slightly into a bit of a light being, more so than a physical. Let he or she come out now. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, exhale, take it even further to your light bodies now. Working all the way through, washing through the emotional body. Breathing in and breathing out and letting go of anything that is a little bit anxious, a little bit heavy, a little bit depressive, whatever. You don't need it. Inhale and exhale, take it through the mental body now. Anything that you thought you were negative, use that beautiful heart star blue lotus energy to wash it out of your mental bodies now. If you thought that you weren't winning, if you thought that you were a failure, or if you thought just not good, nice things, negative narrative as I call it, allow that beautiful energy to move through your mental body now. And then as you do that, inhale and exhale, take a final push, take it into your spiritual body and allow that now to expand even further to the cosmos, even further to the middle world, even further to the underworld beneath your feet. And as if you've ripped a page off, it's gone like from a black and white photo to all of a sudden in color. And all of a sudden, this dreary space that you may have been in, or maybe thinking in, or maybe feeling in, all of a sudden it is just technicolor, just like Joseph's coat. Inhale and exhale. Feel the beautiful starseed energy of your inner being resonate all the way through the body, the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, all the way out. And you feel your chakras are aligned. You feel more expansive because you are aware. I am aware. I am awareness. And as you say those words out loud to yourself, you feel yourself connect right into the cosmos. All of a sudden, you don't end. And there's no necessary beginning because you are. You are it. You're the pure consciousness of everything around you. You're part of that bigger divine picture. And all of a sudden, you feel some relief. Now, keeping your energy field wide and open, we are going to spin, calling in Grandmother Spider now, who's been visiting me ever such a lot. Love you, but not next to my bed. Thank you very much. So now taking that, that's another story, taking that golden thread and weave from Grandmother Spider, who is the most powerful divine feminine. She is the weaver consciousness, but she's a protector as well. And she weaves this beautiful, beautiful, like golden twine around and around and around your energy field, just sealing in your energy bodies just to make sure that everything is protected, that everything has that golden layer. You're still part of the cosmos, you're still part of it all, but you're just chucking in that frequency, that thread, weaving, 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 being part of the whole matrix golden cosmos. And now coming back to your physical being, very much seeing with different eyes now. And we say out loud now, calling the Golden Council of Light. We all have one. Activate my divine sight now. And you feel a little bit of a tingle in your third eye. And then you feel a little bit of a shift in your real eyes. And you say, I call in my divine presence. May all that I see be divine. May all that I manifest through vision be of its highest order. May all that I see be in truth of the most highest. And with that, because we're going to be using our vision a lot today, you can come back to this space. And we are ready to move into the portal a little bit deeper. So just while you're coming back, I would like you, I always like to do this, I would like you to put one word. I'm so happy that landed with a lot of you. I think I needed that more than you. That was the nicest gin and tonic ever. So can I ask you to put in the box How are you feeling now? One word, two words, because we want a little bit of a gauge, something we can go back to. You know what I mean? A bit of a stick in the sand, as it were. On this 1010 portal, we are powerful alchemists. We are powerful creators. Do you know what I mean? And we want to be able to witness how we can change and alchemize frequencies. So I like to be very aware when I teach and I share these groups that we have this awareness and that kind of like point of reference where we can say, oh, look, I came in as that and I went out as that. This is really important, really important. Wonderful, peaceful, aligned. Yes, dreamy, calm, and happy. Great. Love. Yes. Yes, all the ones are here as well. Okay. So, fragile and alert, like that, Ra, like that. I think you and I have came in on the same starship today because I feel the same. So, these teachings, like I'm in the middle of writing a book at the moment, which is quite exciting, but taking some time because it's not something that can be rushed. It's on off. But I was actually writing about the exhaustion that we go through because the mission is so hard. And then as I was writing, what came through is like, no, we get thank you, we get so tired because we are trying to be something we are not. I want you to think about that because this is a program. We are tired and we are exhausted because we're fighting so hard to keep up the pretense that we are not divine, right? Think about that and let it land. Yeah. Because I've been thinking about that a lot. Sekhmet said that to me a month ago and it got brought up in my writing again. And I thought to myself, what if we could just let go? Because we are too busy looking for what we already are. And why are we trying to be something that we already are? Do you know what I mean? Why are we trying to be some? That's like me desperately trying to be a female, but I'm already a female. You know, a banana sat there going, oh, I wish I could be a banana. And then, dude, you look in the mirror, shit, I'm a banana. Well, hell. Do you know what I mean? Where am I going to go and put that energy somewhere else now? Do you know what I mean? So it's about perception. So this is what I'm going to be teaching a lot of in the Hermetic Principles with Thoth. He's already obviously teaching the Hermetic Principle of Mentalism, right? Okay, that is about, thought. Thought is going to be your ego mind is going to be the biggest game changer. And how many of us try and put it to one side because we say that it's just not, no, we don't need it. Do you know what I mean? It's not good for us. It is good for us. It's just that if you are putting shit food in your body, you're going to be overweight, right? But if you put good things in your body, you're going to be healthy, right? And it's basically the same as our mind. If we feed it shit things, we're going to see shit things. If we feed it good things, then we're going to see good things. And it's kind of that simple. So there is some entrainment that we need to do here because we have been trained to pretend. Okay. And that's what's exhausting, right? So I'm saying this now because this is what's going to be chucked in the mix. So let's go and revisit actually what the portal is all about, the 1010 portal, and it's just like we've had, so where were we? The 99 portal was very different to this one. 1010 portal, closing the door. It's karmic, right? Today it is karmic, and this is going to take you all the way through to the weekend. Completion, right? Transformation and new beginnings, right? Now, I was speaking to, and I need to share this story because this is all very, very relevant. And then we're going to go in and work with Thoth, right? But I was sat in my energy over the last couple of days, and I was trying to tap into Sekhmet and that, and they were, it's almost like I was trying to speak to Sekhmet. She was there, but it's almost like she was with a client. She was unavailable. Then I was trying to speak to Thoth, and it felt like he was off somewhere, do you know what I mean, teaching Ascended Masters. And every time I tapped in, it was almost like, yeah, I can speak to you for 5 minutes, then I need to go. It's what I call the changing of the guard. And this is what's happening with all of us. They haven't disappeared. They're just reshuffling around because you are going through a massive shift in consciousness. It might not feel like it. You might doubt, but that's just all the bullshit. But you're going through a massive shift in consciousness, which means because this huge transition is coming, we can't be in the same dynamic of having the same teachers around us teaching us the same thing. We're graduating. Funny, because it's my daughter's graduation tomorrow. So this is a thing, right? So when you feel that you've been forsaken and your guides aren't around you, or it's a little bit quiet, right? It's because they're stepping back to step back in again. They're either stepping back to go and have a fat chat and go, right, what does she need? Okay, we need to mix it up a little bit, or you're going to have brand new guides coming in. And it appears from our side that it's a little bit quiet, which makes us feel very, very vulnerable, right? This particular time, I was sat there going, anyone there? And I had a high council come through 2 days ago. I'm not lying when I said these guys were all men and they looked like supermarket managers with a clipboard and pen. And I was like, what are they going to do? Stock take? And I sat there and I was like, who are you? And they were like, we are the high council. High council of what? We're just the high council. And and this is what he said. He said, the door will be closed behind you on the 1010 portal. It will be slam shut. You will be not going back. Okay. There are two dynamics of this, right? I believe everybody that is here is basically sever, slam shut. If there one person has a foot in the door and here, what's going to happen is there's going to be a few pieces of assignments that haven't been signed off on yet. So it will feel very intense and that intensity become a little bit more full on, but they'll catch up and it will get done super quick. Some today will feel that absolute sever and then propulsion forward, right? We're going to have different experiences with this, right? Some have put a doorstop there just to leave it open because they're not quite sure. And I believe those are the star seeds that are going to be coming that we will assist and guide through our very actions and walking forward. So we leave no man behind, but we are the front wavers who are the ones that go first, right? And that's us, okay? And then they said about the Hermetic principles, because I've been going absolutely moggy with teaching the altar stuff, okay? So if you haven't got your altars together, suggest you do that now, because that is a type of ascension ladder. I've been talking a lot about it. Having a sacred structure, Thoth talks a lot about this, somewhere to commune, a portal to bring through. Let me tell you, the power that's coming through these altars in the last 2 months is ridiculous since we've been doing it here on YouTube. Use the moon phases, use your magic, that's Thoth. Use your alchemy, that's Thoth. Use your knowledge and wisdom, that's Thoth. Use your sacred architecture and your wisdom, that's Thoth. In claiming your magic, no longer sitting there with your back against the wall, right? So the Hermetic principles and the principles of Ma'at, which we worked in the last temple meet, is all about the embodiment process. This high council said your only job right now is to live by those principles. Because me personally, keep kind of jumping out there. They're like, no, embody the principles. That is going to help you navigate your joy, your life in this physical body. This is where the party's at, because you're not going anywhere else. You're here for the long duration now in this physical body. The two are finally coming together. So get comfy in here, because you ain't popping out anymore. Because I used to like doing that quite a lot, drug addiction and stuff like that. But he's like, you're here now. So embody the principles, because the true mission is living a happy life. Joy is success, right? Acceptance is the key to joy, right? So it's just like, all of these things, it can only be accessed here. So if we're not grounded, if we're not living by the principles, if we're just popping off out there, meditating too much plant medicine, too many of those things, deflect, then of course you're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to start to suffer depressions and wonder why it's not landing for you. So altars are a great thing to like anchor you down, anchor your home down, bring your power forth and awaken the ancient magic and wisdom within you so you can apply it to everyday life. If you don't do that, then you won't get it. It's that simple. I even wrote in my book today, I said, when you sign up for the gym, your body's got to go with that gym membership, right? To get Beachbody ready. I've signed up for many memberships that I've not gone with. So you know what I mean? It's time to get serious. Commitment. So just on that, the current move phase tonight, along with the 1010 portal, goes with challenge. It's basically means commitment, confidence, and challenges. But it's this moon phase that we're moving into tonight is commit, show up, stand strong against adversity. The moon's right in alignment with us. It's the first quarter moon. So that is also coming at us, bro, for good reason, not taking us out. So now let's move swiftly on to Thoth, right? A lot of us know Thoth. Thoth is the what is Thoth to all of us, really? He's the god of the moon, magic. For me directly, wisdom, knowledge, alchemy, magic, structure, sacred architecture, moon, writing, definitely. But he's symbology. He's so many things actually, because he's literally got a CV like that. And I call him Google God because he knows everything. He will most likely be the God that kind of introduces you to the other gods of the Egypt. It's not unheard of, but he's very powerful. And a lot of us here, even Sekhmet's energy is very much anchored in Atlantis, right? It goes back that far, okay? So a lot of us, because we're here, we're in construction with the builders, right? We connect a lot with Atlantis. I'm very much Lemuria as well because of my major divine feminine connection. But I would say my biggest frequency in this life is definitely to do with Atlantis. Now that's to do with well, not artificial intelligence, it's to do with technology, sorry. And AI is obviously the artificial version of that. But that's why we have the shadow and light in this life, because we have got our intelligence really coming in, sacred technology coming in through us, which is our ancient wisdom and that's our Wi-Fi. Do you know what I mean? But then we've got the artificial stuff that's being created as well. We are in the golden age of Atlantis too. Now, the reason it's so intense that we're moving into is the last time we were in the golden age of Atlantis, Gaia was in 3D. She was in the third dimension. We were in the fifth. Okay, this time round, Gaia's going into the fifth and we will be in the fifth. Like, can we pause for a moment for that as to why this is so intense, right? That's what we're working towards. Keep your eye on the prize. It's go time. So now with Thoth, he is very much the creator, the one that actually pulled me out of my darkness and said, right, you're going to do an Egyptian tour. And I did it. And that's why it's called the Tablets of Light. You have a tablet of light within you. You have a mission. You have a purpose. All of the shadow on top of it was to basically like help humanity purge that darkness. It is not your story anymore. You have encodements. You're a tablet of light keeper. There is something very specific and important within you, which now needs your attention. And the way we bring that forward in power moves is through altars, pitching up, doing things that are going to actually activate and ignite your magic into remembrance, okay? And then you're going to start to see how that works in your modern day world. That's what we're doing, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go meet Thoth now. And with all of this heavy baggage that we're carrying, you know, I'm going to just introduce you to what the journey we're going to do now. But I also want to open up the portal for you to actually go where you need to go as well, because where that goes is exactly the right place. I am going to take us into a journey where you're going to place this book that you have completed. Let's call it your book of wisdom, your book of knowledge. All right. What are you done with? Okay. Because when you put your book of wisdom into the library with Thoth, because he's the god of Kashyyyks as well, when you put the book in there, right, you don't put it back onto your shelf for you to refer to later. That book, in my understanding and my Gospel of Marie, gets sent to the Universal Library. So others behind you will go and say, please, can I have a book on this? Please, can I have a book on that? And they'll go, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I have something for you here. Somebody completed on that long ago. So this is a big bloody book. Do you know what I mean? So what are you ready to place into the Universal Library? And then you can actually make use of beginning a new one from this 1010 portal and beyond. So this is a massive, massive closing on this, right? And it needs to be done, because I'm going to just speak about Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, the seven sorrows of Mary. Even though Mary Magdalene speaks to me about the seven sorrows, that's why I always chuck her in there. There is a time that they speak of. There's a time when you have to call your dark night of the soul. You can be in it forever otherwise, but you're the one that has the law of discernment and the power of discernment to be able to say, right, I'm done now. They say, look for the highest star, the brightest star, and then you jump ship and you go over there, collapse the timeline. So I want you to have that analogy. You know, it's like, when are you going to be done? Because let's face it, if you're not done and you don't have that kind of conversation with yourself, you'll carry on for ages. Like the dark night of the soul is infinite. Do you know what I mean? If you choose it. So now, have you learned enough? Do you feel that you're at this repetitive cycles now of your old ship? I know I am. Need to put this down, close this down. How do you feel about that? You know, if you are, you know, if you feel when you go into the journey, something else comes up and maybe you're not ready to put that book down, follow that, go with that. Let's see what comes up for you. Let's see what Thoth brings to you. And then we'll go from there and see what happens. And then we can move into the next journey. How does everybody feel about that? Have some water while I'm just reading the messages here. Okay, chuck loads of water down my chin. Excited. Well, that's enough for me. 100%. Right. Ready AF. Absolutely. Okay, so let's do it. And I just want you to take a moment and really amp this up, like really amp this up. Make this big. I mean, like how much are we done now? How much are we done? I know I am. And this week has been an absolute display of that where I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm finished with this, right? So, get yourselves comfortable, okay? And we're going to go into this journey and we're going to meet Thoth and we're going to do some book work, okay? Right. Okay. As we just did, taking a nice big deep breath in. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. So just allow your energy to just settle a little. Start to feel the breath coming in through your nose and out through your nose. And I always start to direct that breath into my heart space. So breathing into the heart and out from the heart always opens up that portal for travel. Because within you is your multiverse, your universe. You can basically go anywhere you like. There are ley lines that connect us to all over the world, all over the star systems. And we're now coming into a phenomenal timeline where we're starting to remember our ancient lineage of Thoth, our ancient lineage of the stars. For all of these gods, all of these Neteru, all of these beings, they are us. We hold an aspect of each and every one of them. So when we are communing and talking to Thoth, we're talking to ourselves. So now we call ourselves into the depths of our heart and just feel yourself arrive there. And it's spacious and it's safe. And even though we are going to meet Thoth, the Atlantean, Thoth, the god of wisdom, knowledge, alchemy, the moon, we know that we are always joined by Sekhmet, Hathor, Isis. Their mothers are always around us. And in your mind's eye now, you are walking barefoot and you are very, very casually dressed. You're wearing linen clothing. You're very comfortable in what you're wearing. And as you are walking along this dusty path, you're very well aware you're in a desert kind of environment. And there's a sense of happiness here. In your being, you just feel peaceful. And the reason you feel so peaceful is because you have a strong awareness of your power and your presence. Whoever you were in this timeline is exactly who you are now. And this peace and this knowing still resides within you. And by this, I mean that you are free from worry. You are free from fear. You are free from anxiety. Because inside of you, you know that you have the power. There is a steely, determined inner authority within you. For you have tapped into that mystery school portal within you. Because you've attended the mystery schools in so many lifetimes, including this one. And you know that you have the power at your fingertips. It is not outside of you. So that peace comes from knowing who you are. That peace comes from knowing what your blueprint, your tablet of light within you contains. You know who you are. You do not carry the burdens of others who project, who lead you to false belief. This is not that timeline. Allow that memory and that feeling to slowly surface out of your heart, because this is the feeling that is coming home to you in your now life. This is what is coming to meet you. It's a reunion. In your mind's eye, you are still walking, and suddenly you arrive. It is sunset now, and the beautiful desert sun, which is where you are, is starting to set. The sky is blood red orange. You look up into the sky, you take a big deep breath in because it's so beautiful and warm there. And you can see the blood of Hathor, as they call it. As the sun finally starts to say its goodbyes, to go through its own death, rebirth, and resurrection, only will it rise in the morning. And you have that same feeling inside of you, the willingness to die with the cycles. You are so in tune and in flow. So as you go to meet Thoth now, you speak to him, for he is waiting for you outside this beautiful stone being, a stone being you know very well. And this is the great Sphinx. Yet the Sphinx looks different to you, very different, but you know it. It vibrates and shimmers. Its silhouette looks beautiful behind the sun, with the sunset behind it. And you're meeting with Thoth, but here's the thing. Thoth doesn't come to you as you would imagine, godlike energy and presence, golden light, even though that's who he be. He meets you as a very, very powerful, yet humble human teacher. His heart presence is astounding. And when you are in his presence, you have this feeling of sovereignty like you've never known. And you could stand with him for hours, just receiving his wisdom. As you speak with him now, he says to you, dear heart, this timeline you know yourself to be. You are a time traveler, you're a shapeshifter, you're a timeline jumper. So you can multi-dimensional, you can be in many places at many times. And he confirms that you do realize that you are in a timeline now where it all just clicked. You're in a timeline now which is in your reality. It's in your blueprint. It's in your being. And he's asking you to take a moment while you're in this timeline to establish that truth within you. You know that this is the true you, and it can actually be accessed on a timeline. You feel that now. He now speaks to you and he says, but I'm going to take you on a journey now. I'm taking you to a timeline, which will be the timeline that you change history. It's the timeline that so many starseeds begged and pleaded to be part of. And you're actually there. You're here with me, but you're actually there right now. So you say, which timeline is this, Thoth? I am going to take you to 2024, moving into 2025. And with it, that there's a huge flash. And it's like you're traveling together now. So you have a massive dimensional shift. And here you are, stood with Thoth next to you. You've timeline jumped. And here you are, the most strangest experience, looking at yourself in this now timeline. What do you see? Who do you see? What part of this timeline you're in are you visiting now? You do bear witness to the heartache. You can see the frequency, the loneliness. You can actually see your energy field from on the outside looking in, the fragmented parts of your energy field. You can see the light, but you can see the weight that you have carried this whole lifetime that you have been born in this current incarnation. And you watch yourself and you observe yourself. Thoth says to you now, this is the timeline you walk. And he says, in a very short time, you're about to change history and burst through the other side. He said, are you ready to join with that being now? Are you ready to bring this wisdom that you be now into union? So he's asking you in this ancient timeline to jump into the current one you are living in now. I'm really working you hard here now with this understanding. It's an absolute yes. And the reason you say yes, because you have foresight. And with Thoth, you see heavy, 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 burden, burden, burden as you're watching yourself. And then suddenly there is so much light. And literally, as you turn your head to the right to see what is in front of you, there is so much light, glory days, golden days. But you in this current timeline can't see this, but your ancient self can. And he can see how close you are. And he says, but Thoth, they're about to give up. They're about to give up. And he said, you must intervene, dear heart. How do I intervene? How do I keep my other soul part going? How do we keep going? Because they're so close. And that's where the book of knowledge appears. Suddenly, there is a book that is being carried in your arms in this now timeline. And with all of this stress and this worry on your shoulders, you are literally holding this book and you're being observed and watched by that past you and Thoth. And you are literally hunched over it because this book is so heavy that you're like bent over like an old crone. And what's happening is the weight of the heart, like a tipped up cup, is just pouring all of this pain and shadow and lesson and initiation and hardship and nosebleed and blah, blah, blah into this book. And you're like, wow. And this book is getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Thoth says, now take the book from them. So you step, your ancient self now steps into your current self now. And then here you be. The now you is staring at the ancient you. And there's a moment of, what the fuck? What is going on here? And as you look into each other's eyes, there's a transference of truth. And suddenly the you in this timeline that carries all the burdens suddenly uncracks your back and you stand upright. The shoulders pull back. The book is heavy, but you're standing upright as you look deeply into the wisdom eyes of your ancient self. And as the energy between your hearts, your high heart and your eyes, they merge, you can communicate. And your ancient self asks you, place the book in my hands, sweet one. You hold their gaze. In fact, it's your gaze. And as you place the book into their hands, there's an almighty flash of light. And then before you know it, you've been transported again. Here you stand now with Thoth, your current self and your ancient self. But this feels quite normal now. And Thoth is here saying, I hope you're keeping up with me, initiates. This is what we do. He opens his arm up and there is a massive library in front of you both. Huge. Your ancient self is still holding your book, which is incredibly heavy and incredibly big. And Thoth says, this, dear heart, is your current library. And you take a moment to look at the library and you're like, wow, there's some books here. And he said, there's many books that you have not read yet. There's many books here that are still in play. And as you look at the bookshelves, you can see some of them vibrating in frequency, some not because they haven't been activated yet. Some are right at the back. And he said, you will get time to go into your library in a short moment. And then suddenly Thoth is stood in front of you both. What is now, if this is time for, is are you giving your sacred yes to place this book in the universal library? Both of you, ancient, now you, yes, 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 I, and you say your name. Do solemnly swear by the order of Thoth, by my golden counsel, by my higher self, I am now submitting this book. It is now closed. My cycle is now done. And with love, reverence, and honor in my heart, I now submit this book to the universal library. And then Thoth waves his arms again. Suddenly there is a flash of light. And he says, it is done. And then you look and you feel very different. And you say to Thoth, where's my ancient self? Breathe into your heart, sweet one, for you will find that they are within you now. Breathe it in. Your eyes start to clear. Your heart opens. Your energy shifts and changes, and there's a difference in your spine. You move differently. You look at your hands, you look at your toes. Thoth is just smiling. It is done, sweet one. It is done. And then with that, he steps aside. He said, there is one book here in your library that you know almost resembles the next stage. He's asking you now, with the knowledge of your ancient one, combination of you, the two come together, now you are one. What is it in your journey? What are you meant to activate now? What does the new life look like beyond this timeline? And he nods, and you walk down your corridor of your books. And you just, like choosing an oracle card, you place your hands up and you just gently walk from one to another until you feel that energy pull. And then suddenly to your left, you feel a jolt. And you go in and you look down there, and there's a lot of books, but there is one book that is glowing, and it is speaking your name. I am the one. I am the one. This one is calling you so much. It's activating all your chakras. It has all the high magic in there. It's got the absolute starseed incarnate in its highest form, the book of how to. Everything is in there. You grab it. You hold it to your heart as a full activation. Thoth calls to you, beloved, bring it to the front now. You run like a little kid. You're like, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. And there's a golden plinth there now. It doesn't even have a bookshelf. It has a little holder, a plinth, just for this golden book. And you place it on there, and suddenly the pages flick open, and there isn't even real writing in there. It's just energetic hieroglyphs and light language. And you flick the pages, and they're golden. And you say, Thoth, where do I begin? He said, it's not to begin. It's not about beginning. It's about knowing. Because there is nothing on there that you're going to read with your mind, but it's everything you're going to know in your heart. And you stop and you look at him. He said, my dear, you are an alchemist of the highest order. You are a teacher of the way. You always have been. I called you. You came. You have walked with me in Egypt many times. You've walked many timelines with me. There is nothing that you don't know. Now is the time to share your brilliance. And you know this. You bow your head. Because you know this. Let's keep it real. He's not telling you anything you don't know about yourself. Let's cut to the chase. You know you're powerful. You are divine. You just got to bring the abundance to your mind. You bow down to Thoth. In fact, you embrace one another because he's family. He's family. And then before you know it, you're stood outside the Sphinx once more, but this time on your own, and this time in the form of your current lifetime, looking up at the Sphinx in this current lifetime. If it is in your path, it is in your tablet of light. You will walk again in Egypt, but there are other sacred places that call others to different times. So it may be Peru, it may be the south of France. Thoth wants you to know all this is very possible in your lifetime now. So know that you will walk those ancient lands again, and as you do, it will activate the golden footprints that you have within your being, and that alone will ignite the earth. Your job, how you show up in the world, is going to change significantly now. As you gave your sacred yes, you also gave your sacred no. Everything that is not in alignment has now been transcended. Everything that is to come into truth, as long as it's for your highest good, is now actioned. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Taking a nice big deep breath in. And so it is, absolutely. When you're ready, you can come back to the space. I'm going to let you come back for a little bit because that was actually really full on in a good way. And I have to say, I have channeled Thoth a lot. I have channeled him in Egypt. I have channeled him in many countries, in many places, in many ways. I have never channeled two different timelines I've never done it like that. My mind was trying so hard to not get involved there because I was like, this is really confusing. And he was like, get your mind out of it. And that was one of the craziest journeys I've ever brought through. And that just goes to show where he wants us, because that was not planned. The two timelines, the ancient you and the now you, are also very emotional because we want freedom from restriction. So why we are in this powerful, powerful place, this centered space. I bring in Yeshua now. Yeshua, our brother Yeshua. He who is the one that knows what it is to lead through pain and suffering, but he also knows how to ruffle feathers and get people's back up so we can get the message across. He's such a dude. I love Yeshua so much. I love him so much. And he comes to me in many, many different ways, as he comes to each and every one of us. That's what I love about Yeshua. And we have our own relationships with him, okay? And for me, humor. He's always bringing humor through to me, and he always comes with Mary Magdalene, obviously, and he always comes to me when I'm in Avalon, and he's very, very connected to me through Egypt because of the Essenes. So, he's just around us. I don't think anybody who doesn't connect with Yeshua. And I wanted to now bring him into the space because as I was tapping in this week to the portal, having the door closed behind us, the whole week, all I saw, the resurrection rites, the resurrection picture, the famous picture of Yeshua when he was obviously taken off the cross from crucifixion into his chamber, and they had that big round stone circle and they rolled it over to keep him in there. That's where he apparently resurrected from, but I have different views on that. But anyway, that's not what this is about. But we can safely say we're all in agreement that was his resurrection chamber, let's face it. So when I was feeling and being told that, yes, the door is going to be closed behind you, that was what I was seeing. And it took me 4 days to actually take note of the fact that it was actually the doorway to Yeshua's final resting place. And I was like, well, that's resurrection. And he was like, exactly. Oh, finally, she got it. Do you know what I mean? Because let's face it, the purgy week we've had, and just prior to this, is all about carrying this mission so intensely. We're done now. We're done. We have to choose a different timeline. And now we choose joy. Now we choose love, but it can only be chosen for ourselves first. So you can do it for others, but unless you're going to do it here, don't mean shit. You know what I mean? I know that to be true because that's all I've done all my life. Give, 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 give. Never mind about this. And now I'm like, oh, right, I have to. I can only give to you what I can give to me. And if that's not much, then I might as well shut this call down. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like resurrection came in and he said, right, you're going to close and you're going to resurrect. Okay. So with Yeshua, I made a lot of notes on this. With Yeshua, he worked a lot with Thoth, actually. He took, apparently, so it was said, he did a lot of his initiations and his teachings, wisdom teachings with Thoth. So those two are definitely connected. So it's not alien to me that those two have come together. Do you know what I mean? So now Yeshua is basically saying, get down from the cross. Yeshua is saying, you don't have to drag that cross because he did it for us. We don't need to do that. You know what I mean? And it's about time now that we actually allowed ourselves to die, put the cross down. Okay. We now go and lay to rest. Okay. So we can be reborn. And I'm going to take this process throughout this week. Look, probably no doubt throughout the month of October, but I do know that there's some very powerful astrology stuff coming up. So we really are in the pinnacle point of it. So now I'm going to take you into a meditation and journey. We're going to go straight in with Yeshua and we're going to walk with him now. And he's going to take us into the resurrection. Okay. So now closing your eyes once more, because we're still in that energy. So I just want to keep the journeys going rather than talking too much mental body stuff. Do you know what I mean? So let's get comfortable again. Oh, taking a nice big deep breath into the heart. Even placing your hand on your heart. Thoth is very much stood behind me right now, and he's going to be here all the way through this journey, so he hasn't left. He won't. He won't. Because resurrection is about rebuilding, he's saying. And rebuilding is sacred architecture. And you are the most sacred architecture of them all. You are the temple. You are the temple. So placing your hand on your heart and acknowledging that and consecrating your temple and looking after your temple, bringing fresh flowers, fresh fruit, incense, prayer, adoration, recognition. You are the temple. The mission was hard. The mission was painful. There was highs and lows, extreme highs and lows. And as I've always said, Marie, speaking now, it's about the dance of the ebbs and flows. For those that walked with Yeshua, many of us are here. For those that walked with the Essenes, many of us come now. Memory arises of loss, heartache, of carrying the mission. Many remember what it was like as we move into that pinnacle point of success of mission. It is only right that we have memory of the deep heartache of the mission that broke us. To know success, you must know failure. To know wholeness, you must know what it is to be broken into a million pieces. So this is where the two worlds come together, much like your ancient self and your modern day self, much like the divine feminine and the divine masculine, much like the broken mission and the successful mission, bringing your sore hearts, the memory of having a sore heart, of when we walked, when we witnessed, when we felt, the hardship of seeing, witnessing. Those timelines have gone, but the memory still lives on. But we can only move through better times when we choose to have memories of better things. And the only way we can have memories is by experiencing joy. If we have nothing to refer to, then the dark night of the soul continues on. Forever be pinned on the cross, he says. Forever be pinned on the cross. At some point, he was taken down. Joseph Arimathea now comes. Joseph Arimathea now holds his body and he takes him into his chamber. Even Yeshua was taken from the cross, yet we are still on it. And he says, that was not the mission. That was not the plan. So now I have a vision where he is in all of his white robes, and we were stood on that really big hill where he was put to his death. And so many of us are stood around him, but he stood. It's like he wasn't even on the cross. He's leading us away from that place, but his robes are crisp and white. And from the back, they're pulled over his head, as are ours. So we're very much in ceremonial dress. Nobody is excited. Nobody is sad. We are just following him. And as he walks, we look down on the floor and we're following in his footsteps of iridescent white light as he walks. And they fast become our footprints as we walk in them, just like a little child following their parents' footsteps in the sand, trying to fit your foot in theirs. We become quite childlike because we are his children. He whispers, "The kingdom of heaven is within you. And when heaven meets the earth, that is where you shall find me." And that is where we are about to go for the closure of the 1010 portal into the new timeline. That's where he was going to meet us when we decided to live in our hearts through joy. He continues to walk. And we all arrive now. We're stood now. There's quite a few of us. You're all there. I'm there. And there's many around us, and I'm very emotional that we're together. Only happy tears, because it's no pain. It's togetherness, it's community, it's oneness. It's what we've all wanted in this lifetime for so long. And he stands and he stares at the big hole, which has got that big circular concrete block that closes the door. And he then turns to address us. And what is so beautiful about this scene is we don't all bow down to make him a guru. That is not what he ever wanted. He's our brother. He's our brother. And he reminds us that we are one of the same. And now he addresses us. He speaks. "Beloveds, brothers and sisters, I bring you to this place once more. Past timelines, remembrance of this place can bring a lot of heartache through memory. But this is why I bring you here. For what you are about to experience now will not be a painful memory. It will be remembered as jubilation, celebration, victorious, triumphant endings and brand new beginnings through this doorway, which will be opened again once more. You will resurrect." And we all turn around and we look at the cross. And we see the cross in a different way. It's not bloodied. It doesn't look distressing to us. It glistens. It's high up on the hill, and we see this beautiful stars and moon. We see Mother, Father, God twinkling in the stars. We see the glistening of this beautiful cross that represents as above, so below, so within, so without. And we breathe that into our beings and we turn back to Yeshua. And he said, it has to be an agreement from you. It has to be spoken out loud. Do you agree to let go of the past? But most importantly, you have died. You have been reborn. Do you wish to resurrect? And there is an absolute roar in the crowd. It's a no-brainer. We are like celebrating that we're here. I mean, there's drums, there's like dancing, and there's ululating. What like we do in Africa, it's that it's brilliant. Yes, we are resurrecting. We are resurrecting. And he's laughing and he's dancing with us. And he said, take a breath, take a beat. 4. You are love, you are pure love, you were always loved and you have completed. You have brought the new earth. You have brought the truth of Mother, Father, God into physical form through every single one of your beings. Never forget this. And with that, he waves his arm, and suddenly, through magic, that doorway opens and it doesn't reveal the chamber. He steps aside. It's just gorgeous golden light emanating. And we want to go through that portal because that golden light is the next level to your life, to your life, to your new beginning, to your resurrection. Remember, resurrection is a rebuild in physical body, mental, emotional, spiritual, all the way out. You are done. And with this, we raise our hands, we raise our hearts, we look up to the stars and we say, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And with that, Yeshua walks through and we follow him. And there is so much light. We suddenly go from this reality into a brand new one, and there is beautiful light. It's blinding. You can't see. Allow the moment to take you from the old reality into the new one. You are resurrecting. Now I call for you now. Take a moment in this light. Let it adjust. What comes to you? Do not think. What comes to you without thought? What vision do you see? It may be a symbol. Maybe a word, but allow your first gift of your new reality to be given to you now. I want you to stay with the feeling of this. Think no further. You have worked very hard for you to get where you are right now. I want that golden energy to stay with you. It will show itself through your journals, through your dreams, through time, things to come. And now, Yeshua closes that door behind you. Get a sense and feeling and an energy tingle all the way down your back, like somebody shut the door, slam shut. There is so much openness in front of you, not a lot behind you. You cannot go back, nor do you want to. Step forward into the golden light now, beloved, and then feel that golden light all encompassing around you. Yeshua, you don't see him, but he takes your hand. You feel him. Your high heart is activated, for that is where you will always meet Yeshua, in your high heart. Allow this light to just be. And know that you have resurrected now. Your feet have landed on this fresh soil. How exciting. What possibilities will come now. Okay. Now I want you to come back into your space. I want you to anchor deeply into your Earth Star chakra, which is about a handspan or two beneath your feet. Draw all this beautiful energy into that Earth Star chakra because you're very expanded. And then run your cord even further and connect with the heart of Gaia. She holds you even strongly now. And now I call for them to ask your guides to bring your energy field in to a place that is comfortable for you, to go throughout your day or go into your evening. And then we ask Grandmother Spider once more to just put an extra seal of golden thread around your energy field, making sure that all your energy is contained, protected, all the good stuff is kept in, and all the shit stuff can bounce off. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. I'm so glad I brought tissue. It's like never channel Yeshua without crying. Okay, just while you're bringing yourselves back to the screen, I feel called to pull some cards. I didn't prepare for this, but I feel like I'm being told. 1 second. Right. Oh, and I dropped an ankh. Okay, so that actually just fell off my shelf and landed in my fingers like that. Who said that they had an ankh? Oh yeah, there we have it. Divine Noir. There we go. The ankh just fell into my fingers. How funny. I know here, have a tissue. Have a tissue. Shame. Jeez, I didn't expect, anyway, whatever. So I thought that I'd take, we all know Rebecca Campbell. If we don't, just so I can show you the box. This is the Rose Oracle. And I think as our hearts are so kind of, right now, I think this is a great place to be. And the reason I brought Egypt into the physical realm, because I know that there's a lot of you in my tribe that really, really wants to get to Egypt. And you have to go to Egypt. It's really important. You know what I mean? In this life, that's why sacred travel, it's waiting for you. But I know abundance is a thing, which is why I brought all the altar work in. Because I believe, this is just my theory, okay? This is just my theory. Every year I've always said when I take my groups to Egypt, there is a certain mission, sacred mission and expedition that comes up. So the same year is not the same, every year is different, right? And that is dictating to the star seeds that turn up. Every single star seed that says they're coming, okay? Because there's a couple that signed, few that signed, few that I know that are going to come. We are all working with our altars to create the abundance. So I believe that the next wave of starseeds that come with me in May, it's to do with clearing the abundance blocks, which is why those that have heard the calling so much are like, spirit has gone, but there's your challenge, there's your initiation, because you got to remember your magic before you go there, because you're going to be awakening the abundance grids in the temples. Last year was to do with twin flames. Year before that was to do with sexual abuse, to do with all of that. And then the year before that was just calling the teachers in. How interesting. So if you feel that you are meant to go to Egypt, don't give up. Get your altars together, because it's not just Egypt. It's probably Peru. It's probably like south of France, Avalon, any of the places. Us starseeds now need to go back. And there's many of us that you're supposed to hold groups. There's starseeds waiting for you to get your shit together to hold a group. So the sooner you can step out of fear and get out there, you know what I mean? The sooner we can sail this ship. You know what I'm saying? So let's pull a card. Right. In fact, let's pull 3, because I always like 3, because 3 is the Heka codes. Intention plus action equals creation. So let's see what they say. Right. The mystic rose: compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. That's rather lovely, isn't it? So that's the mystic rose. Okay. So I would say compassion, devotion, humility, humanity. Okay. Compassion with self, devotion to your path, devote nothing else. Focus on your heart, focus on the love, focus on yourself. It's all about you. We need you, right? Humility, humanity. Okay. So the only way that we can actually give to the world is through us, not give to the world, burn out. Okay. Grace, unconditional love. So I think this is a real nurturing card. We don't need to do anymore. It's not about do. It's about, remember I said in another post, the bee goes to the rose. The rose doesn't go to the bee comes to the rose, right? The rose. Second one, the wild rose, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. So that's a bit Sekhmeti for me, okay? I'm into that. I mean, that would be I'm a wild rose. I got a few prickles down here, but my bloody petals are quite lovely. Okay. So do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness untamed. Like, be unapologetically you. It's now time to step out in the world. Those encodements is what we need. Don't fucking hide them anymore. We need them. Stop trying to hide them, because it's just like, that's the very thing that we're looking for. That's the very thing that we want. The stuff trying to be something else. Don't want that anymore. You're safe. If you don't feel safe, then I don't know what to like here. I don't know what to tell you. And we're all each other's biggest cheerleaders here. That's why I did this community here, because this is what we need to come together to know that we support one another. And that sense of safety is so important. The only way you can get to that is by coming to your community in these spaces and other spaces like this, right? Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, positive outlook, a fresh start. So there we go. So intention, okay, was that first card. All right, which is basically do you, boo. Everything is compassion towards self. You have to fill your own cup first. That's the intention. The action card, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. Now I'm going to bring my friend Ra onto this, because we've been talking a lot. He's an amazing, amazing hip hop artist. He's amazing. You're in here, Ra. You are. You're absolutely amazing. And what he raps about is Thoth and, eighth dimensions and things like that. He's absolutely off the chain. And, we've been going through this whole thing. And I said, don't let anybody change who you are or your beats or how you do things to fit in a box out there. They got to fit in your box. So that's your action card. So be unapologetically you and do you. Okay, thanks, Rob. Woo! I've seen you do your prayer hands there. And then of course so intention plus action, the creation is clarity, a fresh start, and positive outlook. So that's your Heka codes. That's your Heka alchemy. So a fresh start. I would say it's a bit more than that, because we've just gone through the resurrection portal and done a lot of work today. So this is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And this is because we came together. This is because we worked together. Now, I cannot impress enough to just keep it going. That's why I created the temple. That's why I do these lives, because, I know a lot of us struggle with gold coins or not gold coins, whatever. Take all of that shade off the table, right? Let's just get together and create a beautiful cauldron where we can practice regularly. And I'm very practical spiritual, that. And it's just like, pitch up to the party, learn how to work with your cauldron magic, learn how to work with your altars, get your channeling going, get going, because now is the time. You're so supported, right? And that's what we're going to do. So pitch up every month. The next time is the temple meet. I've also got a very, very powerful event, which is 3 of us teachers free, which is going to be on YouTube. I'm going to release the details, and it's about Sekhmet. I have an hour time slot. There's another phenomenal teacher. She's also got an hour time slot with Sekhmet. And Nelson, my friend, he's also got another time slot. So that's 3 hours of Sekhmet in November. And all of this doesn't cost you a penny. Just got to pitch up to the party and get your lion roar on. Rah, rah. So, my darlings, it's been, I never put an end time on these lives, because like I say, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. I'm so glad you made it here. And it's just like all of you here, I don't always get to respond to all the messages, because I'm channeling and looking and all the rest of it. So I don't ever want you to think that I haven't seen it. But thank you so much for turning up, because the thing is, without you, there's no me. Without me, there's no you. And without that, there's no this. You know how it goes, right? But wow. My cheeks are burning. Okay. But thank you so much for being here. And like I say, keep it going in the comments. I'll see you in the temple. I'll be posting the Zoom invite very soon. And oh, Michael, you were here. Michael. Oh man. Okay. And then the next thing for next year, we're all going to live in a commune. I say it every single time. And I'll bring roses. I love you all. Thank you so much for showing up, and have a fabulous 1010 portal. Mwah. See you soon.